specialty pharmacy today survives on the drug margin. Really, the competition is what can you do with that drug margin to reinvest towards a patient's outcome? And I think that question resonates throughout all of healthcare. Is if healthcare, unfortunately, is a business, right? And as a patient, it's not always comforting knowing that. But if in fact it is, what are we doing to compete on the dollars that we, quote, get reimbursed for a medical service? How are we reinvesting those dollars towards a patient outcome? That's really where the patient experience initiative kicked off and took root, was because nobody holds healthcare more accountable than patients themselves, right? So whether it's myself, we just went through this with my 3-year-old daughter when we went to a doctor, paid our copay, or prescribed a medication. She was allergic to it. We went back because she had an allergic reaction, and they prescribed her the same medication a second time. My voice gets lost in the system. I couldn't talk to the same doctor twice who prescribed the allergic medication my daughter reacted to. And that cycle continues not only in traditional medicine and primary care, it happens in pharmacies as well. So a patient has a negative experience, which we're not in a vacuum, so that's inevitably going to happen. It's not so much as a negative experience, it's what are we going to do to correct it and learn from it. Value-based specialty pharmacy, the approach there is how do we then proactively create a model in which when a patient is onboarded within a specialty pharmacy, there's an outcome at the end, and if those parameters and if the actual care continuum doesn't run its correct course and there's a variance, what are the consequences? Who's held accountable, right? And so I think you'll see a driver, and we've already seen this specific to our pharmacy, around pharmacies working directly with employer groups. Our employer program today has experienced tremendous growth around shared risk contracting, where we as a pharmacy say, hey, we're really good. They say, well, prove it. And we say, okay, we will. And if we do, there's a reward. And if we don't, there's a consequence. Much like baseball, as we enter into the playoff season here, there's a scoreboard. And I think as scoreboards become more prevalent in our industry, the performance goes up, and my mom and dad as a patient, or my daughter as a patient, or yours out there in space as patients, become more in tune to know that if things aren't going the way they want them to go, then they can do something about it.